Hello everyone, happy Monday. Happy new moon in Leo. I was going to record this at Stonehenge, but it was a little bit too wet and rainy and windy to get a video that you'd be able to hear. So I returned to Glastonbury Abbey, where the ley lines cross, the red and the white springs, the Michael Mary lines, where they cross. To bring this transmission through, to bring this video through, this wonderful Monday musings, this mass awakening message. I wonder if you can hear the melody of the crickets and the grasshoppers in the grass behind, whether you can hear the bees buzzing around. It's so wonderful to be here, whether you can hear the birds up in the sky. We have the Tor that way, Chalice Well that way, Wiriol Hill that way, St. Edmund's Well that way, for those who know about the hidden well of St. Edmund. And this video today we're talking about a very Leo theme, heart of a lion. The heart of a lion. Conviction, truth. It's a big topic, you know. I wonder what will come through. I wonder how it will wish to express as I share with you. But big themes are upon us, big collective shadows are releasing, calling us more now than ever before to have courage, to be in the heart. It's like the saying goes, would you rather be right, or would you rather be happy? One serves the mind and one serves the ego. And it's interesting, a particularly interesting theme. I'll wait for this wind to blow by. Breathe in some inspiration. Welcome in the wind. And we thank the heavens above and the ground below, the elements in between. We thank the Fae for that inspiration. Those winds of change. The heart of a lion. So many right now, without realizing, and this tags on perfectly from last week's video of the spiritual ego, because the ego is very subtle and it will have you think that you're in the heart, but you'll know that you're not because of how you feel, because of the constriction, or because if what you are seeking is external to you. Now, what do we mean by that? There are many awakening, many sharing, many awakening, many sharing their sacred, unique voice, their unique perspective and their unique truth, and it's bespoke, it's beautiful, and it's unique. Each one of us has a unique sound. Yet the more that we voice, we vibrate the higher heart, we connect throat to heart, we move the energy in our body, the more that we articulate that, are seen in that, the more that the shadows, the ego aspects of ourselves that are so imprinted, they're so hidden, they're invisible, like wearing an invisibility cloak, they will start to arise. Now, as you know, if you've watched me for a while, those shadows, they only show up through another. An emotion or expectation will tell us where we're coming from. But usually if we're in ego, there is denial that is really quite great. And we're being called now more than ever to reset our templates, to reset in love, to reset. It is not about what you're doing, not about what you're doing, what you're saying that you're doing. It's about your actual embodiment. It's about if you're choosing in the moment when there is contrast, when there is accusation, when there are untruths perhaps being spoken. Untruth for one, but maybe not for another. Where do you approach from? And this is only a question that can be answered actually by you. No one else can tell you. No one else's perspective really truly matters. Because to have the courage of a lion requires humility and grace. It doesn't require a desire for apology, for acknowledgement or validation. You don't need or seek your validation from others. You recognize that your emotions are yours alone. And so it brings us onto a topic of conviction. Have we condemned another, villainized another? Have we condemned another to play a role? To play a role to satisfy, to feed our ego, the subtle aspects of it. And if the ego is being fed, it will say no, that is not occurring. If the ego is active, that's what the answer will be. No, my ego is not being fed. Because the ego will project, it will push, it will deny, and it will accuse. And it will want someone else to be owner of our emotions, of our truths. It will want someone else to be the pinnacle, the focus, so that we can distract from within, seeking and searching only without. But yeah, what do we do when we're in that situation? Would you rather be happy or would you rather be right? And sometimes being in the heart means bowing down with grace in a moment, to simply bow the mind into the heart and say, if there is ego coming forth from another, perhaps there is something within that has triggered that from them, but if it's coming forth and being projected upon ourselves, we cannot choose to be right in order to diffuse and heal a space. Now Venus has had her retrograde and she's been dissolving behaviors and anchors and cords that are misaligned. But friendships, relationships, partnerships, they will always return to you if they're right. For the cords and the threads that are woven in love, they come always from above and they embody here on earth, they embody here within us. And they are eternal. They cannot leave. Because they are eternal, they are blessed. They are a blessing. So what is this message trying really to say? Can we take a good look at ourselves in humility and honesty and say, have we condemned another? To play a role, to play a villain, to play an aspect that pacifies, justifies, validates a projection of our shadow. As humans, we do this every day. It's a human trait, but it's interesting when we're becoming conscious of it, especially through this Lion's Gate. This Lion's Gate, we're being called to really see through the veil, see deeper than ever before. And in so seeing, we get to choose a different response. Even if part of you feels you're not in the wrong, can you offer apology? Can you offer apology knowing that I am you and you are me? Can you choose to come back to the heart because you and I, we are one? Even if that means there is projection and a story and a mistruth shared far and wide. For who really knows anything to be absolute? It does not exist, not in this world, not on this plane. Are we encouraging, are we dividing and conquering amongst friends without realizing? Are we dividing and conquering? Are we misunderstanding the role of emotion? Are we emotionally immature? Can we not see, or do we choose to see, that emotion is a flowing energy in motion, wishing to alchemize, to transmute, to ground into earth, to offer us a golden rebirth? Or do we choose to see it as a truth that we intellectualize, that we mentalize, that we keep up in the crown, that poisons us with its raindrops, and it falls all the way down, it falls down into our roots, it makes us unstable, it forms an identity that makes us unable to love, unable to see ourselves for who we are. It's never about another, it's always about the one within. So the lion's heart, the heart of a lion. Can you look upon another? And like the poem If says, I shared that just over a week ago. I love that poem, I've loved it since I was a child. I used to know it off by heart, I don't know that I do anymore, but it says, if you can bear to hear the words you've spoken twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools. Everything you've built up broken, and build it up with worn out tools. Can you, with humility and grace, look at things that need to fall away to be rebuilt, to show yourself? This is not a world of fake it till you make it, no, even though that is a phrase most commonly used. You have to feel it, you have to know it, you have to embody it, and you have to show it. That is the heart of a lion. You get to choose. If someone is upset, is triggered, is in their ego or their shadow, we must know that ego reversing back to that will never make it better. We must know that it is always with the heart we must lead. So sometimes that is relaxing and releasing a truth within to see the commonality, the connection, and the wound that is needing to feel settled rather than stoked. Heart of a lion or heart of a mouse? Avoidance, or do you face it? Do you rise up and you stand in the conflict? Do you stop it from intellectualizing, from holding it and from over-processing it, from over-analyzing it and making false illusions, false truths to become illusions, to become embodied realities? Until we face ourselves enough and see that all we think about another and all we feel that we wish to project upon another is simply ourself creating an illusion, we will struggle greatly. And it does not take as much courage. It does not take as much courage as we can fear it may need. It is simply fear showing up, disabling us, sticking us in the mud. But if you have faith and if you have knowing, if you have a connection with the divine, if you let it continually be flowing, then what will happen is your heart will expand. And your footsteps will pave themselves upon an invisible path that is sure and steady and of highest good. And the mind will learn to trust the heart, trust one another, know that it is safe. There is no more space for divide and conquer. Know thyself and awaken. Know thyself and be free. Every moment is right now. There is no past, there is no history. It is all here, it is all right now. Choose the vibration, choose the emanation, choose how you want to feel, and let that feeling do the speaking, let that feeling do the actions. And in so doing, we rise up into our Christed heart space. Those that are not walking the walk, and are just talking the talk, will have to face bigger illusions in cycles. So face them now, with a heart wide open, knowing that you are held by the arms of divine living love, embodied beauty and bliss. All that you need is right here. in the breath of life's true kiss. So open your heart, connect to your mind, and your insatiable, beloved, divine blissful truth ye shall find. Happy new moon. So much love from the heart chakra of Earth. Also, they say. Look at this sun up here. Can you see that? I don't know if you could see that if the camera pulled it straight, but it's stunning, it's beautiful, it's blissful. I love you so much. Bye for now.